as long as there's money, I'm getting there and there's money there.
Right.
Like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
But if I'm like just dumping out my life savings to like take a picture with an elephant and then come back, bruh.
For some people, they think that's worth it. They think it's well worth it.
No way.
You know, but
I need to get paid, son.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jericho, and this is Zap. We are the now 8-time international award-winning pop hip-hop duo Band of Future. We make clean, fun music that everyone can listen to with a sound that is uniquely Californian. And right now, you are tuned in to the Life's a Circus podcast, where we talk about things that are funny, interesting, and just straight ridiculous. So before we get into this, and this is going to be a very important topic, I think a lot of you will be interested in this. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with at least 2 people that are interested in becoming a digital nomad. We want to talk about it. We're talking about work. We're talking about jobs. We're talking about moving. We're talking about all the things that seem so glamorous, but maybe there's a dark side to it. I don't know. We should get into that. But you got to stay tuned to the end to find out what that might be. So right away, digital nomads are one of the most, well, it peaked in 2021 right after the pandemic, but it's still one of the like professions, and that's an umbrella term, but professions that's growing the most in the last 10 years, right? I didn't know this. People started doing this as soon as like 1997. I guess once internet connection started to get decent, people were doing this. But around 2014, what happened up?
I got a question.
So can you back up, and just for anyone who doesn't, like, what is a digital nomad?
Oh, people don't know what a digital nomad is nowadays?
Some people don't know.
Makes sense. Okay. A digital nomad is a person that has found a way to live abroad, basically using technology. So in 1997, when internet started to be pretty available anywhere, people could offer services online and work from a different destination than where they're from. So you could be from America and go to Bali, for example, and work from there. And that starts to become really popular. And so now a lot of people do it. And there are many programs that will say they can teach you to be a digital nomad if you want to basically ditch the 9-to-5 and go live abroad. And it always looks very glamorous. From the people, I know many people that do it personally, and they typically post the pictures of them lying on a beach. And the idea is that you can work from anywhere for 2 or 3 hours a day, doing your nice, whatever, cushy job, and then enjoy living in another country. And that is a really cool idea. And that is part of the reality, but there's also a side of it that can be more difficult to overcome that people don't tend to think about. So we're going to get into all of that. Zap, have you ever considered the digital nomad lifestyle? I don't know why I said it like that, but
I know why you said it.
Ooh. Do it again.
I have thought about it.
Famous, don't you? All right, never mind.
What?
Huh?
I've thought about it for sure. I don't think I have had jobs where that's a possibility.
Sure.
And also, I feel like those types of jobs wouldn't be the jobs that I would like.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's basically, digital is just you and a computer.
Yes.
So, a lot of what we do is not staring at a computer screen all day.
Right. The typical idea of a digital nomad is somebody sitting in a coffee shop working for 8 hours a day or 6 hours a day or whatever. And that's true to the point where a lot of places actually construct digital nomad communities so that they can all be together in kind of one centralized place, like a work share kind of a situation, and just work from there. But yeah, the big key is that you just got to have good internet and then something that you can do to work from a different place so you're not interacting with people directly. But you have a lot of options.
Nice.
So like if you like hopping around from place to place, one of my friends that does this will be in, I'm always like, where are you now? And it's kind of a cute thing because where are you now? I'm in Colombia. Cool. Where are you now? I'm in Turkey. Where are you now? I'm in Bali. And they're places that you'll notice are kind of hubs for digital nomads. One, because the cost of living is low. 2, because the internet connection is good because you can't do it everywhere. A big place for a digital nomad, especially expats from the US, is Portugal because low cost of living, good food, safe in general, and the internet is amazing there. So that's one of the spots that you can go to if you want to be that. But you get flexibility. So if you like the idea of moving around and working from different locations, then that's perfect. And then since you're not working all the time, you do get to explore and check out new stuff and take the picture in front of the Taj Mahal or whatever thing that you want to do, which is usually what people do to I guess showcase how cool their life is. I don't know. It does seem like kind of a validation. Like, why am I doing this? Because, like I said, the downsides, as I mentioned, there are many as well. But you get to explore, you get to travel, because people always think about going places as being expensive, and
Yes.
vacationing is expensive, but travel, just that part of it, isn't necessarily expensive. If you think about it, you're just going places and then staying there, not trying to be extravagant. So you can be frugal. You can get a VPN so that your plane tickets are cheaper, and then you just live within your means wherever you are.
That's one thing about me. Like, I'm not a big traveler, but I feel like I feel like that Dos Equis guy. It's like I don't always drink. What is it? Beer.
Yeah, but
When
when
I do, so like I don't always travel, but when I do, somebody else is paying for it.
right,
And that is just like that's like the only time I travel. Like I will go on a tour for work, to play music or whatever, go to another state, go to another country. As long as there's money, I'm getting there and there's money there.
right,
Like, yeah, let's go.
yeah.
But if I'm like just dumping out my life savings to like take a picture with the elephant and then come back, bruh.
For some people, they think that's worth it. They think it's well worth it.
No way.
You know, but
I need to pay, son.
Listen, we finna get paid, girl.
it did surge in popularity, of course, after the pandemic, as people were looking for things that they could do and they couldn't be around people. So, okay, this is perfect. But for some people, they really fell in love with it and they said, I'm going to keep doing this. So a lot of the more well-established digital nomads have been doing it since then, or maybe a little bit before then, so like 4 or 5 years. There rarely are people that have been doing it more than a decade, because it does kind of wear on you just moving around and doing all that kind of stuff. But you do get choice over your work-life balance. And I think that idea, easier said than done for sure, but you don't have to clock in an office at 8 a.m. You could sleep in theoretically and then go hang out at the beach or snorkel or something. I think what people do overlook is the idea that you still have to work, and you really should do it on a consistent basis. And if you don't do that, then I don't think your digital nomad life is going to last very long. But you have a lot of things that you can grow with as well, because people have great stories when they do it. And when people I've talked to, oh, I was in Cambodia, blah, 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 and a tiger almost ate me.
The tiger bit the man in the head, and everybody's mad at the tiger.
There's also, you get to choose where you live, because if where you live is expensive, you can just go someplace that's a lot cheaper. So I think that's why Bali tops the list for a lot of people, because it's not very expensive to live there from a month-to-month basis. So if you find a way to get income from where you're from, be it the United States, England, something like that, and you can generate that money while you're living in Bali, then you're living like I heard for like $1,000 a month, you can have servants.
Wow.
Literally.
I'm gonna take a nap.
And then you get to network. That's fun. There's a lot of people that are out there doing the same thing, so you get to interact with them, and that seems attractive. And then you don't really have to go to work. You think about that. Honestly, I don't know about you, but I think a lot of people hate going to work. They don't dislike work. They don't like going to work. They have to get up, they have to do the thing, they have to deal with traffic, whatever. If you are a digital nomad, you don't have to go anywhere, really. If you have a good internet in your Airbnb or whatever you're renting, you can just stay there.
Mother shit, that son of a ass! You, I just...
Yeah, bro. Like just putting on, like I look at the, especially when I used to live in downtown LA and seeing the people who like worked in corporate offices and they had to wear suits and ties, stuff like that. Just the thought of like getting up every single morning and putting on an entire suit, dude, like
It's a challenge.
so I could sit at a desk and then come home and then take it all off. Like
Yeah.
if I can go to work and still be in my pajamas, like, dude, where do I sign up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the appeal for sure.
Very cool. We love it, Will. Thank you.
The last advantage that people talk about a lot is the cultural and immersion. If you like a particular culture, then you can just go there if it works out for the technology and all that kind of stuff, and you can be immersed in Hong Kong. You can learn Chinese. You can do whatever. If you have other goals that related to that culture, then it's the perfect way to do it. You can still make money and be immersed in that culture. And that really does seem fun. In my personal experience, I've never done the digital nomad thing to an extreme, though I've thought about it because it seems like it might be fun to do here and there. But I have constructed my coaching, which I can do from anywhere. And I have been up in the mountains and I'm working on a session. I'm just at a coffee shop and I see what that's like. And if that was my everyday, it wouldn't be so bad. You know, it's definitely like, oh, I need my computer to work. That's all. If my computer works and the connection is good, then it works. If it does not work, then it's a bad day. That's all. It's kind of the risk that you run. Now, those are all the advantages. And that's the stuff that when you go on the internet, you will see people living exactly what I just mentioned. However, all of the downsides,
dun, dun, dun.
There's a lot of them.
No! God, please, no! No!
What would you think would be a disadvantage, major disadvantage of being a digital nomad?
The first thing that comes to mind is just, even though it's cool and you're like exploring and all this kind of stuff, especially if you have a core group in the States, like a certain group of friends, a certain group of family members, they're most likely not around anywhere close to you. So any of those kind of groups that you grew up with or were with, you know, in your home country is just kind of gone. So you can have a bit of isolation, I think, for sure, even though you might be surrounded by all these new experiences and new people. You're still kind of like by yourself to a certain extent.
I'm so lonely.
You were right. The loneliness, depression is the number one thing that a lot of digital nomads talk about because they're not around the people that they love, right? And then they can't be with them when it's convenient, because if you're living in Europe and you're from America, you're 7-8 hours ahead, 9 hours ahead. So imagine just, hey, I want to maybe eat together. Well, I'm having dinner and you're at work, right? So you can't make things line up. So depending on where you choose to go, that can be a very difficult process. And then it kind of is inconvenient. I've worked with people where I'm talking to them and it's fine for me and they're up at 3 a.m. because where they are, that's what they have to do to make it work. And they're willing to do it. It's kind of like something they accept, but you miss a lot of things. You miss the birthdays, you miss the graduations. There's a lot of experiences, your little cousin had her first steps, all that. You miss all that kind of stuff. And finding a place to live is harder than some people think. And that's another problem that a lot of digital nomads have, because they'd go to a place expecting everything to be great. But what they don't understand is that a lot of digital nomads have this reputation of basically causing prices to go up, right? Because you're coming from a country that everything is great. Yeah. So everything's coming up because you have a lot of money. So a bunch of you move to one place that's not doing too well. So they're like, oh, there's a lot of these people, so I'll charge more so I can make money. But then the locals start to resent you because you're there. And so you don't feel welcome. And that's kind of an uncomfortable thing. I think I mentioned, I have a friend who travels a lot. When she said when she was in Turkey, she kind of got that vibe. It's just like, why are you here? But she doesn't speak Turkish at all, so that didn't help her cause. However, some places actually put signs up that says like, hey, digital nomad is not welcome. It's gotten to that point.
Wow.
You go to a coffee shop and like, nope, you can't you can't come in because you're going to buy one drink and work here and use the internet for 8 hours. Nah, you got to get out or find someplace else. So that's starting to become a thing. So yeah, just think about that. It's like you want to be welcome. Now I'll tell you in a second, some countries are actually taking measures towards making sure that the digital nomads they do attract are actually helping the economy, but a lot of places don't have that in place yet. So yeah, the locals might resent you. If
So
you
just for my own personal whatever.
I got a question.
Have you ever gone into Starbucks and worked on something and not bought anything?
yeah.
And
I've been
Okay.
a jerk, man. Oh yeah.
Do you feel guilty at all? Or are you just
Oh.
like
No, I spent a lot of money in Starbucks. I think I pass once in a while.
Okay.
That's just my if it was, and the thing is, if it was a mom and pop type place, then I'd feel bad. I'd buy something every time. But here's the thing, I even usually go to Starbucks. I have to use the bathroom. I'll buy a cookie or something just because.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, I'm here for an hour. I'm popping in and out. I'm a regular. Don't mind me. I'm just.
I think that's interesting psychologically because I feel. I feel the same the same way. Like if I go to a place where like I shop there all the time and I just go and then I just go in there to like use the bathroom or something. I'm like, you guys owe me. You guys owe me this bathroom. I'm here all the time. I'm not buying anything right now, but I'm here. But I feel the opposite at Starbucks because I don't drink coffee. And I never go to Starbucks. So when I'm in there, I'm just like still in Wi-Fi, and I feel so guilty.
Here's the other thing. Specifically for Starbucks, I don't feel bad because my computer and phone don't work in Starbucks. Any Starbucks, the internet, the Wi-Fi does not work. I have to do my hotspot on my phone. For only Starbucks, and I don't understand.
Apple.
No. It's just because Mr. Starbucks doesn't like me, and that's
Android PC. Android.
Really? I don't know if anyone's understanding what you're saying there, sir.
Sorry.
Anyway,
long COVID. Sorry. Continue.
What else was I going to mention? That besides, the locals resenting you, someplace not wanting you to be there, if you have a medical emergency, it's a big deal because you don't have a safety net. Your insurance might be more expensive for one, and then transferring it over, sometimes it's a tricky thing. It depends on the country you're in. When I went to Spain, I met up with a friend who got sick on her flight. And so from the plane, they had took her in an ambulance to the hospital, gave her the treatment, whatever. Now, if that had happened in the US, that would have probably cost her about $5 million. But because it was Spain, and as soon as you're in Spain territory, you're one of us, it cost her like $100. So
wow.
That was cool, but it does depend. So you really have to be careful just about that. Just think, all these things are things that you want to think about before you do it, because it doesn't look that difficult if you only pay attention to the people that post about it, because they just posting the good stuff. Once in a while, there's a sob story about no, someone kicked me off of a bus. I think I saw that recently because they weren't from there and they got kicked out the bus and they felt so sad. I was like, well, life is hard, bro. I don't know what to tell you. It's really hard to find romance for these people, for sure, because you're not going to be there very long, and so no one wants to get involved with you unless you choose to be. So that's just another side to it. What I was going to mention earlier is that some places like Indonesia are starting to put in measures where they welcome digital nomads that have X amount of money in their bank account, and they allow them to actually have a visa, a second home visa is what it's called. And then they can live there for up to 10 years. But they want people to come and, of course, do something related to the Indonesian economic system. So they're telling people, come on over. And so in that case, if you have it like that, then you can move one place. You're going to stay there, and it still implies you're making money based off of where you're from, and you're just living kind of more permanently in a new place. And that seems to be okay if you want to maybe uproot, start someplace else, then you can find love, and no one has a problem with that. But you won't find many people that are willing to, be with you for just a couple months, like for something serious, if they know you're going to leave, or if you have a hard time being committed to one thing. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration. I know traveling. Have you ever planned a trip? It takes a lot. So imagine doing that regularly every couple months. I got to plan my stay. All that stuff is kind of a hassle. The idea of living out of a suitcase, some people don't like that.
And that's why I think it lends itself to like a younger demographic, like someone in college, fresh out of college. Because I think at the end of the day, I think the internet has shown us that we need some kind of physical community, some kind of grounding. And if you don't have that, you just kind of like, you just kind of out there, and there's some, like you said, there's some negative effects to just kind of being on your own. So
yeah,
that's interesting.
And the interesting thing about that too, what you just mentioned, is that the idea of nomads in general were nomadic people, meaning they were tribes. So there were people that wandered around, but they were all together. And so that feels so bad. We're all doing this. And now it's like, I'm just by myself, me against the world, hoping for the best by myself in this new place.
So lonely inside, real wrong.
The best case situation that I've seen work out pretty good is when couples decide to do it. And that's not so bad. That actually seems to be really the way to go. Like once, it's kind of hard to find someone that's aligned with that vision, but if you're both in it, let's both go X place and move around and whatnot. That seems to be, because that'll get you through the hard times.
Listen, we finna get paid, girl.
I can't even imagine traveling alone. I know a lot of people do it.
I think it's very fun.
That's just crazy to me. Like I need at least one other person who knows where I am, what's happening. I didn't get kidnapped today. Like I'm not in a ditch somewhere. Like buddy system. Yes. All right.
It's easy. It's easy. Just you can follow the Jericho Law patented make friends method. I didn't just make this up, but I've thought about it. Like this is what I've done many times, and it works every time. It literally works every single time. Okay, here's what you do. All right, pay attention. Pen and paper out, everybody. This is a learning moment. You get a bottle of alcohol or something else that people.
So you lost me already.
I know. Well, you don't have to necessarily do it, but get a bottle of alcohol or something that people enjoy in general. Maybe it's a cake. I haven't tried with a cake. I think it might work with a cake.
Cake is universal.
I think so. And you walk up to the group of people that you don't know. I said I've done this many times. And you walk up and you go, yo, and that's it. And then they go, yo, and then it's a party. Literally every time I've ever done that has worked out phenomenally. And we hung out for many, many hours. Just random groups of people. Are you going to try it?
I don't see that working out.
Well.
For me, at least. Actually, I don't see that working out at all.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
It's usually, I determine they're there to have a good time. They kind of got to eyeball it, but it's like, yeah, they're in a place to celebrate, and they don't mind another person coming in to celebrate with them. Try it, man. Anyways, what I was going to say, the last thing that people tend to forget about is that I think it's important to have a routine in life, because you're just freelancing and freestyling everything. So you need a routine, and in a new place, it's hard to develop one because things are always kind of up and down. Your money flow would be up and down. If you're not working for a big business, if it's just you, then some months are better than others. So that side of it, that inconsistent income, can be kind of nerve-wracking also. Or it might make it so you can't keep doing it, right? If you don't make enough money. So you really want to have a good savings before
that all comes under this. Now that you say that, it's all under the same umbrella. Like if you wanted to put all of that in one word, it's stability.
Yeah.
So your home community, it's stability. Your routine, it's stability. Your money situation, it's stability. It's like, I think we as humans were created to like want some level of stability and to be a nomad, even digitally. It's just like you're unstable to a certain extent.
Right.
So you can't link into things that are stable, like other people, and have relationships and romantic relationships and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, I feel like that sums up everything that you're saying. It's just the downside is just a lack of stability in a laundry list of different areas.
Yeah. I think some people, if they have the right personality, I know personally that's perfect for me. I wouldn't mind that kind of a thing. It definitely doesn't. Actually, you know what? My perfect scenario in life would be that this should be a show. No one take my idea. This should be a show. That someone wakes up in the morning and there's an envelope at their door, and basically it tells them what they're going to do for work that day, and they have an hour to get to the airport or wherever, and then they don't know what it is. They've never done it before, and that's their job. I would love that.
That is really good.
See? Wait for the show?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the idea, yeah.
Okay,
I'd watch that on TV or something.
I thought of it. No one take it.
Yeah, copyright.
All right, we should just do it. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think it'll reach a peak and start to come down because people were still riding the wave of the COVID. But after a while, people want to start families, do all that kind of stuff. And if you need that stability, then it's not the job for you. But if you're younger, or if you want a change of scenery, some people do it for a few years and then they stop. But it seems like a cool thing.
Where do I sign, Mr. Berry Gordy?
I might give it a shot here and there. That's kind of my thought about it. I'll just try working for a week or so from wherever place, but not necessarily do the jumping around and to the extreme that some people do, because that's a little much. And then they do a lot to find people to talk to. They talk on those like roulette chats, like we did that one time.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Maybe we shouldn't do that again.
Got him! Got him!
But people spend a lot of time on those because it's literally just like somebody to talk to me, someone be a connection. And I think you can see that a lot more. So hopefully that doesn't long-term affect people's mental health with all the depression and stuff like that. But if you're thinking about becoming a digital nomad, I just gave you the blueprint. Keep in mind the positives and negatives, and if it's in your heart, go for it. But above all, make sure to share this video with somebody that wants to know a little more about the digital nomad life. And I'll tell you what.
What?
This is not possible if you don't have a job.
You gotta have a job to be a digital nomad.
They took our jobs.